Let's be real. Cheating doesn't come out of nowhere. It builds like a slow leak in your roof. You don't notice it until the whole damn ceiling collapses. But here's what no one tells you. A woman who cheats never does it without leaving signs. It's never silent. It's never clean. And it's never without cracks in the foundation. The problem? Most men ignore those cracks. They think, she's just busy. She's just tired. She just needs space. But behind that excuse, there's a man who knows something's off. He just doesn't have the strength to say it out loud yet. If you've ever felt that gut punch, that quiet dread that something ain't right, this one's for you. Because when a woman cheats, she always leaves footprints in the mud. And today, we're tracking every one of them. Let's begin. Sign 1. Her attention shifts, and she pretends it hasn't. You don't need a PhD in psychology to feel it. The vibe changes. One day she's warm, curious, invested. The next, it's like you're talking to a stranger, wearing her face. She stops asking about your day. She no longer laughs at your stories. Hell, she forgets things she used to remember without trying. And when you bring it up, she'll hit you with, "You're overthinking." "I've just been tired." "You're being insecure." But here's the truth, brother. Women don't pull away randomly. They pull away when their emotional investment shifts elsewhere, whether it's another man, a fantasy, or just the idea of escape. The focus is no longer on you, and that's the first real crack. But it doesn't stop there. Sign 2. She starts hiding the small stuff. Cheating doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts in the silence. She used to tell you about her co-workers. Now, she's had a long day but won't say why. She used to leave her phone on the counter. Now, it's face down or glued to her hand like it holds state secrets. She used to post you, mention you, brag about you. Now, it's as if she's single online. And again, if you ask, you're the jealous one, the controlling one, the toxic one. But what's really happening? She's compartmentalizing. She's splitting her life into 2 lanes, the version of herself that's with you, and the version that's starting to slide away from you. A cheating woman becomes a magician. Distract with one hand, deceive with the other. And if you think you're crazy, that's because she's mastered the art of emotional gaslighting. But deep down, you know. You always know. Sign 3, the intimacy vanishes or mutates. One of the loudest red flags is what happens in the bedroom, or doesn't. She might suddenly become cold, uninterested, distant, as if touching you takes effort, or dash. She becomes too interested. New moves, different energy, a hunger that wasn't there before. Here's the twist. Both are signs. Because when a woman's cheating, she's not just sharing her body, she's redirecting her intimacy currency, and that currency either dries up with you or gets exaggerated as cover. Sex becomes either a chore, a performance, or a way to clear her conscience. But rarely is it real anymore, and you'll feel that. Not in the act itself, but in the aftermath, the emptiness. Like she's already gone, like you're kissing someone through a glass wall. That's not love. That's the residue of betrayal. Sign 4. She picks fights that don't make sense. You ever notice how the arguments start coming out of nowhere? You forgot to reply to a text while you were driving. Now she's acting like you betrayed the nation. You left a dish in the sink. Now you never listen, and she feels unseen. Brother, this isn't about the dish. This is emotional displacement, and it's one of the biggest tells of someone who's internally conflicted. She's angry, but it's not about you. It's about the guilt she's trying to suppress. See, a woman who cheats will often create emotional distance by starting fights. Why? Because guilt is uncomfortable. Being the villain in her own story doesn't sit right. So she flips the script and paints you as the bad guy. It's self-justification 101. If you're suddenly cold, distant, or too much, then she feels entitled to look elsewhere. It's not cheating anymore, it's coping. It's not betrayal, it's finding herself. And suddenly, you're the reason she had to step out. It's gaslighting wrapped in faux empowerment. But don't take the bait. You don't argue with someone who's already halfway out the door. You observe, and you choose peace over chaos. Sign 5. Her future plans no longer include you. This one hurts the most. Because it's subtle, it's quiet, and it creeps in like fog. One day, she's talking about vacations with you. The next, it's just, I want to travel someday. She used to say, when we get a place together. Now it's, I've been thinking of moving. She talks about growth, but never says with you. She wants space, but never asks you to join her in healing. She imagines a future, but your name isn't in the credits anymore. And again, when you bring it up, she'll say, you're reading too much into it. I just need to figure things out. Why are you being so intense? But behind the words is a reality most men ignore. She's already planning her exit. She's detaching emotionally before she detaches physically. That's why you feel like a ghost in your own relationship. That's why her eyes look through you. That's why your love feels like it's floating in limbo. She's already moved on in her mind. You're just catching up to the memo. But don't beg. Don't bargain. Because if she had to lose herself to find herself, she was never really yours to begin with. Cheating isn't a random act. It's a process. A woman doesn't cheat the moment she touches another man. She cheats the moment she disconnects from you emotionally and refuses to reconnect. The signs are always there, but you have to be bold enough to see them and strong enough to walk away when you do. Because here's the hard truth. If you let someone cross your boundaries once, you've taught them it's okay to do it again. Stay awake, stay grounded, and remember, a real man never begs to stay in a space he's being emotionally evicted from. Comment clarity if you feel that in your soul, and if you're done guessing, overthinking, and doubting your gut. Subscribe, because around here we sharpen minds, not chase shadows.